On today's episode of The Front Row, we are at the Lubbock Public Media Studios in the downtown Cultural District here in Lubbock, and our special guest on the program today is Gary Lewis, a name familiar to many of the people listening to our program. He was, for many years, the Director of Orchestral Studies at Texas Tech University. He has gone on to do great things, but is back to conduct the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra in this weekend's concert. Gary, welcome back to Lubbock. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you, Clint. Thank you so much.
Well, so fill in the time just a little bit for us since the time that you left Lubbock. Your life has gone on and done a lot of great things. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yes, it's been wonderful. We moved to Boulder in 2008, so it's crazy how time has flown. I've been Director of Orchestral Studies there at CU Boulder for those years. A couple of years before I left Lubbock, I was engaged as the music director of what is now the West Texas Symphony, formerly the Midland Odessa Symphony Orchestra. And so I've been with them for that time now. I think next season will be my 20th season as their music director. So, but I have such great memories from my time here in Lubbock, and I conducted the Nutcracker for many years here with the Lubbock Symphony and Ballet Lubbock, and it's just great to see so many good friends in the orchestra. Sure. And had a great time so far this week.
Great. Well, that's wonderful. I'm so glad you're able to sort of reestablish those ties. Right. And I know that a lot of people want to see you and visit with you and see you conduct the orchestra. It's going to be great.
Well, thank you.
Well, let's talk about the concert coming up this Saturday evening in the Buddy Holly Hall. First of all, have you been in the hall? What do you think?
I have not.
Okay.
Tonight's rehearsal will be the first time I've been inside. I've seen it from afar and driven by in my couple of visits to town, but I'm so excited to get to see it from the inside and get to experience it. I've heard just amazing things about it. I'm so glad that Lubbock has a world-class venue like that. So.
Right. Well, great. Well, we're excited to know what you think.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll love it. Yeah.
Great. Excellent. Well, tell us a little bit about the program that is on for Saturday night.
Well, it's got a Spanish flair to it, or a Hispanic flair, if you will. We're going to be starting with a work by a Mexican composer, Arturo Marquez. It's a really just infectious, wonderful piece called Danzón No. 2. And so this program explores various kinds of stylized dances from the Latin American and Spanish traditions. So we'll open with that, and then we're going to continue with some selections from both of the suites that Manuel de Falla extracted from his ballet, The Three-Cornered Hat, which is just amazing music. You know, it's the pedigree of that ballet is really pretty incredible. I mean, it was commissioned by Diaghilev, the impresario of the Ballet Russe, who also commissioned, Stravinsky's Firebird and Petrushka and Rite of Spring and on and on and on. And he has some guy named Picasso working on with the art and the costume design on this production. It's really got an amazing history, but the music itself is so infectious. He had spent a considerable amount of time in France, so he was influenced by the orchestration of Ravel and Debussy. So you have some of that transparency along with this sort of Stravinsky-esque exacting rhythms and articulations, plus just unfiltered Spanish dance styles, So it's quite visceral in nature. So it's just wonderful music, and I'm so glad we're getting to explore that.
Well, this is really interesting, sort of this confluence of nationalities. For our listeners, the Ballet Russe, the Russian ballet, which was in Paris,
right.
Big, major thing. And there was this long-standing cultural thing that happened between the Russians and the French, resulting in this. And so you had Stravinsky's ballets that were there, and in addition to, of course, everything else, but now Spanish.
Right.
So that comes into the play, yeah.
Yeah, there was a real fascination in Paris at that time, at the turn of the last century, of other cultures and other styles, and particularly Russian, as you mentioned, but also Spanish styles. And so a lot of different composers who were actually of French origin were writing in these Spanish idioms. On the second half of the program, we're doing the Symphonie Espagnole by Lalo, who is actually Spanish-born or of Spanish heritage, but a French composer.
Right.
So we're getting both of these different cultural aspects on this music. Is quite interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that so many French composers had this fascination with Spain and with Spanish things. Debussy, Ravel, they wrote great Spanish pieces.
Exactly.
And so here's it's sort of the other way. We're coming with Spanish music into France.
Exactly. So, on the program we have Faya, which is deeply and viscerally Spanish, but through a bit of a French lens. And then we have this French violin concerto, the Symphonie Espagnole, which dabbles in some Spanish idioms of its own. So it's quite fascinating.
Right. So you mentioned a violin piece.
Right.
So it may be a Spanish symphony,
Right.
but it's actually a violin concerto in a way, right?
It is. It really is a French violin concerto. It's not a symphony at all, except that it's unique in that it's 5 movements long rather than the traditional 3. It's got 5 contrasting movements. And quite symphonic in nature. In fact, I was just visiting with a friend recently who reminded me that Tchaikovsky was a huge fan of this piece, and it heavily influenced his violin concerto. So this is Lalo's, most often performed work, and just brilliant in nature. So I can't wait. And Chi and I haven't had a chance to meet our soloist yet, but we'll meet for the first time tonight. And her recording of this piece with the London Philharmonic is just spectacular. So can't wait to collaborate with her in the orchestra.
Great.
Yeah.
And the music is so fun.
It is.
It's a blast to listen to.
It is.
It will be a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
When you came back to rehearse the orchestra, were there still a lot of familiar faces?
There were, yeah. I mean, of course, a number that I didn't know, having been away for 18 years. But yes, it's Annie, who's the concertmaster, is just an amazing leader and musician, and Mark Morton, the double bass player I work with, also in the West Texas Symphony, and David Shea sitting back there in the playing principal clarinet, and a few former students, who are now professionals in their own right. So yeah, it's been just delightful. Yeah.
Great. Well, we can't wait to hear the concert. Is Saturday evening in the Helen DeWitt Jones Theater at the Buddy Holly Hall. And the program is as just been described. Gary, while we're here, tell us a little bit about your time in Colorado. What is a day-to-day sort of thing for you at the university there?
Well, very similar to what I did here. The College of Music there is a very special place, and I have just wonderful colleagues, wonderful students. It's a very large graduate program, which of course for me as the orchestra conductor is a real advantage. So a lot of really talented students, but we also have a very what I like to think successful graduate conducting program too. So our students have gone on to be really important leaders in the profession, whether they're conducting youth orchestras or professional opera companies or music directors of professional orchestras in their own right. It's been really rewarding to get to work with a lot of really talented conductors over the years and take a back seat to their success. But yeah, I have 2 young boys now, and 10 and 12, and they keep us busy. So, soccer 4 nights a week and on the weekends, and I have a horn player, and take him across town to another school. So it's like a lot of parents,
Right.
But I love my work and love my colleagues at CU Boulder, and then of course I enjoy getting back to Texas at least once a month through my role as music director and conductor of the West Texas Symphony. So I feel like I still have one foot in this wonderful part of the state. So.
Right. What an active musician! My goodness gracious!
Yeah, it's been fun. That's they say you're the best you're ever going to be as a conductor. Right before you die, and I really honestly I've told several people this recently. I feel like I'm just now starting to figure out a few things. It's just such an accumulation of experience and knowledge, and it's just because of that I think it's just really invigorating and something I love to do. So.
Well, I love to see your enthusiasm still for that. It's wonderful. That's great. Our guest on the front row today is Gary Lewis. He is Director of Orchestral Studies at CU Boulder and the music director of the West Texas Symphony Orchestra in Midland, Odessa, and is conducting the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra this Saturday evening in concert at the Buddy Holly Hall. Tickets are available at lubbocksymphony.org. Gary, thank you so much for being our guest on the show today.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Glenn. Thanks so much for the invitation. It's just great to see you. Great to be back.